Welcome back to the Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Golseth.
It is Friday, April 17th. This is week, no, 16th, 12th? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Stay-at-home orders, trying to be safe, everybody being safe, but it can be tempting to not move very much when you're working from home, when you're homeschooling, when everybody's at home. It could be tempting to not move very much, and we know that that's probably not the best thing to do. So to help us out this morning, Jennifer Hamer, she's chaplain's wife, also American Council on Exercise Group Fitness certified, and as well as cycling and all kinds of other good stuff, fitness instructor at Camp Pendleton. Jennifer, thanks so much for joining us this morning on the Coffee Hour.
Good morning, and just so you know, it is April 17th. It is a Friday.
It is April 17th.
Thank
I got
you.
the date right. I couldn't figure out what week it was of stay-at-home orders, so I was just trying to figure out. What week are you on? What week are the Hamers on in terms of stay-at-home?
This is week 5 for us.
Wow.
Yes, we're on week 5, and I'm guessing we're probably going to follow what New York is doing and go into the middle of May. We haven't quite reached our peak here yet, so it's been interesting. And when we talked this morning, I was thinking about it. There are basically 3 pillars of approach I wanted to throw out there for our good folks.
All right. Well, let's dig into that. Doing all right. Not getting out and moving as much as I'd like. The parks have been closed here, and I love to get out and run on the trails in the parks. And so they've closed a lot of the parks here and the parking lots to the trailheads. So in order to go run on the trails, you either have to have someone drop you off or have to live close enough to go get on the trail. So most of our exercise has been walks, which is great. It's good, but it hasn't been enough, and we haven't been able to get out every day. So we know we need exercise. How is it beneficial during this time when we're separated from one another?
So I was just thinking about what you said. First of all, the disclaimer, never start an exercise program until you go to a doctor and you're authorized and cleared. Once that's done, I'm going to look at 3 different little viewpoints. First of all, determining what your limitations and your motivation is going to be. And then secondly, if you can inventory your equipment and see what you actually have on hand. And then third, finding routines that actually work for your area, your schedule, with the kids. So every single night on Facebook, I love that you tell a funny joke with your son. That is a routine that I think is really lifting spirits, and it's wonderful. So as far as not being able to engage in our normal routines, I'm not teaching cycle right now. And let's face it, sometimes when you're a group fitness instructor, you count on you going to your class and seeing your exercise. And it's great, because even if you don't want to go, you have to go, and you still get paid for it. But if it wasn't for that, sometimes I wouldn't exercise. So if you're outdoors and you cannot hit your usual trails, then mix it up on the walk. So what we've started doing is we've started working in walking lunges, small sprints on the sidewalk. We have worked in go to the corner, 10 burpees.
Oh.
So, and we also cleaned out our garage, and we set up our workout equipment out there so that way we didn't have an excuse. You walk out into the garage, you're going to trip over workout equipment. And that makes it a little bit more doable. Definitely the first part of the routine, and I think you guys are with me on this, get up, get dressed. Don't stay in your pajamas. If you're going to put clothes on for work, put on workout clothes, because if you already have workout clothes on, guess what you're more likely to do? You are more likely to actually work out, as opposed to trying to talk yourself out of going upstairs or into your bedroom to find workout clothes and change. Because at that point, you're just going to go sit on the couch and probably watch some Netflix. By the way, if you heard that really cool motorcycle in the background, Marines love their motorcycles. Since they moved on base, it's like you're not a Marine unless you have a motorcycle. So yeah, get dressed, Start finding the routines that work for you. If you're in an indoor space, because a lot of people are sheltering in place in an apartment, they may not even have a backyard, front yard, then clear a small space. Get some small equipment, whether it's a workout mat. If you have to use a nice big bath towel, that will work fine as well. If you have cans of food, which most people do at this point, you can use that for weights. There's all kinds of things that you can stream and YouTube now. Most of our workout format across the country has gone online. And so you're going to be able to find workouts online. And even if you don't do the whole workout, even if you only have 20 minutes, tune in for 20 minutes on something that you really enjoy. It could be yoga. It could be a squat workout. It could be something that's high intensity. But just for 20 minutes, if that's all the time you have, go do it. Turn it on, turn it off, get back to whatever it is you need to do. And then, of course, with kids, Andy, I think you're going to like this one. Have you ever done a chalk obstacle course?
I have not, but I think I saw one. Someone shared it in my son's class, like in the parents group in his class. And is this where you draw challenges on the sidewalk and then you have to do them as you go down the sidewalk?
It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. We have neighbors out in town, and they just did this with their little 4- and 5-year-olds, and it was adorable. They had bear crawls in there. They had one-legged hops. They had squat jumps. They had they didn't quite work in push-ups. I would have thrown in push-ups because I'm a big push-up person. So it was so much fun. The kids were into it, and it would be challenging for an adult. So it's the kind of thing where even doing that little course for 10 minutes, you do that a couple of times a day, like, oh, hey, let's go out before lunch, or why don't we do this one more time before dinner, or we have a half an hour, let's see how many times we can make it through. Something that simple. You don't have to do that every day, but it's a great way to mix it in with the kids and keep it interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so I would say that, oh, go ahead.
I think you bring up a good point, that any movement counts. A lot of times, especially when we're used to going to a gym or used to going, like I'm used to going out and riding my bike or taking it to a mountain bike park and going mountain biking, which I can't do right now. And we get into this mindset that unless I go to the gym or unless I have this structured hour workout, it doesn't count. But especially if you have kids at home, going outside and literally running around in your back, playing tag, all of that movement counts, especially right now.
It adds up during the course of the day. I'm not a big person on going and doing an hour workout unless I'm teaching a class. I tend to get up and start doing little workouts throughout the day. Right now, my personal challenge, I got off the internet. It's a squat, plank, crunch, push-up challenge. Every day you just have to do so many. And then there are other days where every single time I go upstairs, it's 10 push-ups, 10 tricep dips. So if I am going up the stairs, I know once I get to the top, drop and do 10. Now, since we're in quarantine and we're trying to avoid the quarantine, we also need to watch our screen time sitting down, because we all know this. I struggle with it too. You sit down to watch something, and then the next thing you know, you're, fridge diving. So it's a matter of drawing back from that. And if you're going to turn on the TV, make up your mind that you're going to sit on the floor and do some stretches, or maybe knock out some crunches, or maybe that's when you want to work on building up your plank time, or it could be something as simple as rolling out some sore muscles. So if you're going to turn the TV on, then try and figure out a way not to sit on the couch and not to play on your phone and start mindlessly eating, but instead go to the floor, because once you're down there, you start thinking, wow, I could do this, I could do that. Grab a couple of dumbbells, knock out a few sets of bicep curls, whatever it is, but you're going to be more motivated not to eat and instead do some kind of activity or movement.
Being intentional. Jennifer Hamer, chaplain's wife and trainer as well. Thank you so much for being our guest today. It's always a pleasure to talk with you.
That went by so fast.
It did. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Gulseth.
Mail to gifts@kfuo.org. And you can call us at 800-844-0524. KFUO. Christ for you, anytime, anywhere.